which doesn't usually go great for me because I have this round, wholesome face that people think they should build a life with. Every time I'm like, we could bone or whatever, guys are like, no, I'm all right, but you could meet my mom. Do you want to do that? You seem like you'd be better at meeting my mom than having sex, and they are not wrong, all right? I will meet your mom all night long. Moms like me so much for no reason. I was dating a guy years ago. We were totally on the rocks having problems. And I went to lunch with his mom hoping to get some advice. And halfway through lunch, she puts her hand on my hand and goes, you know, Taylor, my son's a lot like his father. And if I could go back in time, I don't know that I'd marry his father again. And I was like, are you saving my life in this Panera Bread right now? It was like a movie when an older character sacrifices themselves for the good of the journey. Like, she Gandalf'd me. She's like, fly, you fool! She was a bad mom and a bad wife, but such a good friend. Oh my God. Hoes before sons, am I right? I think about her every day. And my boyfriend wasn't looking for a relationship either when we met. Straight dudes usually aren't, you know? Women are surprised when they find a guy who can make them come, and straight dudes are surprised when they find a girl who can make them feel genuine feelings in their heart. Like, women are like, he got me off 3 times, and guys are like, I mean, I just fucking like her, dude. Like... Like, we talked all day, I didn't want to hit her, it was nuts! She's just like my friend? I don't know, I want to like lick her heart, I think? Straight dudes are so proud of themselves for falling in love. It's really cute. They're like, I love you. Hell yeah, buddy, I knew you could get there! Women fall in love, we're like, I love you. Fucking again, you dumb bitch. You were supposed to love you first. You keep skipping that part. It is eat, pray, then love. Oh, God, it's okay. We'll try again in a year and a half. My boyfriend is 7 years older than me because I need to get back at my dad for some stuff. Older guys are just better. They're just better. You never have to ask them to buy Pepto-Bismol. They just have it in the house. They pull it out after dinner like a nightcap. Like, you want some pink juice, baby girl? You're like, yes, they would. Cheers. Older guys don't call you things like cute or hot. They call you things like stunning, gorgeous. Shit with syllables. Things that would take a 20-something guy a little while to sound out. And older guys aren't, like, cute or hot either. You know, they're handsome, distinguished, like old pictures of your grandpa you shouldn't look at too long. You ever find one of those in an old dusty box? You're like, who is that? Oh, that's wrong. Okay. They're not your family in those pictures yet. They're just the past. It is a gray area. Oh, I'll get weirder. You ever see a picture of your parents when they were young and hot and you get like weirdly mad because you know they would have never dated you? I saw a picture of my dad in college football once. I didn't talk to him for 3 weeks. I'm like, you would have left me at a drive-in, you Danny Zuko piece of shit. He's like, what? I'm like, I can't hug you for a year and I don't want to talk about it. My parents don't watch me do stand-up anymore. Don't worry. Don't worry, they're not interested. No Christian parents want to watch their daughter talk about depression and dick for an hour. It's not fun for them. My parents don't have a dark sense of humor, and I do, and I'm glad I do, because if you can laugh at the darkest stuff that's ever happened to you while it's still actively happening to you, sometimes that's what gets you through it. For example, here's a joke they will not like. Did you guys know that sometimes when you call a suicide hotline and the call drops, they do not call you back? Yeah, you think that'd be the time for star 69, but sometimes they just ring a bell in the cubicle like, lost another one, that's lunch. Some of you are tensing up like, did that really happen? Yeah, a few years ago, and it was fucking hilarious. I was on the floor of a DoubleTree hotel like, did this bitch just ghost me while I'm trying to ghost myself? That is... I mean, I've been left on red. I've never been left for dead. That's a new one. That is brutal. I wasn't even mad. For all I know, that's how they train those volunteers. Like, hey, some nights we get too many calls. Fridays are big for us. In those situations, you're just gonna have to use your best judgment, all right? Like, I usually wait for like a privileged white girl name, like a Chelsea, a Kelsey, a Taylor. Those are the salmon I throw back and hope they swim upstream on their own. Even if I was mad, what am I gonna do? Hop on Yelp? Like, 1 star, totally killed myself. You're gonna wish I killed myself after this review. I did that joke in Texas a few weeks ago, and there was a girl, white, my age, in the crowd who goes, and the wait times are ridiculous. And she's right, okay? I think if you were a frequent caller, there should be some sort of rewards program. You know, like when you show loyalty to an airline, like you should be able to do that with suicide hotlines where you call in and they're like, please enter your rewards number. Boop, 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 boop. Welcome back, Taylor. Thank you for your diamond medallion status. You are now 3rd in line. Would you like to use an upgrade and kick someone else out? My parents are still very, very religious. The real reason he and I broke up is the reason everybody breaks up. We were no longer having the amount of sex you need to have in order to ignore everything that's wrong with each other. Yeah, love is blind, lust is Helen Keller. So we weren't there anymore. And it got tough because I have a fairly high sex drive. Not crazy high, not like I'm gonna catch something at the bus station high. But if I love you, diarrhea doesn't deter me. Like we're in that zone, you know? It's like, yeah, your stomach hurts, push through it. I want to feel close to you. Mentally push, not physically. Don't make a mess. That joke makes me sound so much cooler than I am. I'm not that cool. I've had sex with 2 people, 4 if you're Christian. Like, I'm not a good time. I'm not. I don't like casual sex. All my friends are like, you don't know if you like it. You've never tried it. I'm like, I've also never tried cottage cheese, and I know that shit looks nasty. It's all wet and bumpy. I don't trust it, okay? I had a friend try to convince me with this argument. She goes, you have to try it, Taylor, because there is nothing as empowering as just banging some guy and leaving. I'm like, I mean, that sounds good, but I don't know. Have you ever tried to make a dude's mom love you more than him? That is power. I still talk to Sheila, so. Haven't heard from him in 8 years, but every Christmas she's like, I miss you. I was very sheltered growing up. I was terrified of sex. I thought I would be bad at it. Now that I'm older, it's so easy to be good at sex, isn't it? Oh my gosh. All you have to do is approach it with the enthusiasm of a child. Just put everything in your mouth. Like, if you can reach it and it fits, that's where it goes. Pretend you're 4 and your partner's made of Legos. It's not complicated. I grew up very religious, you know, so I was encouraged to abstain from drugs and alcohol and sex and enjoyment. And, being abstinent is when you wait until marriage to have sex. They used to tell us the safest sex is no sex, which is a lot like saying the safest travel is books. When I have a daughter, I'm going to make sure she's abstinent in high school, and probably before that while we're at it, because when I was younger and I was abstinent, I was not having sex, but I was having other things done to me. And I don't know if you know this, but other things are kind of the best part of sex for ladies. So while my friends were having sex, I was the only one having orgasms. Yeah. I could not believe it when I found out. When my friends are like, yeah, me and Chad have had sex, but I've never, And I'm like, you're going to hell and you didn't even finish? I'll pray for you. First time I tried to lose my virginity, I missed. That happened to anybody else in here? Not physically, I wasn't stupid. It wasn't like, I was like trying to put a straw in a Capri Sun. It wasn't like that. What happened was, I was waiting until marriage or until Jesus came back, because I'm like, my dad will like him, right? And I waited, and then finally, I tried to lose it to my boyfriend in college, who said, no, thank you, which was a bit of a curveball. Nobody told me to expect sexual rejection as a woman. Nobody prepares you. From the time you start walking as a little girl, they're like, hey, everybody wants in there. You got to build a perimeter and keep everyone out. I was so busy trying to keep people out of me, I never thought I'd have to talk someone into me. Men take sexual rejection much easier because they're prepared for it. From the time they start walking, they're like, hey, Brent, you're a little creepy. Maybe keep an eye on that. You're going to need to get consent, which is a noise she makes, not a feeling you feel. But because men are prepared for it, they bounce back real quick. They walk around like vacuum salesmen, just like, there's another house over here. My boyfriend was nervous to have sex with a virgin, and I was like, well, the good news is you only have to do it once, and then guess what? Problem solved. I felt like a high schooler trying to get a job at the Gap. Just like, oh, well, we really want someone with retail experience. It's like, well, how am I supposed to get some unless someone takes a chance on me? No. I was literally told by somebody that getting rid of my virginity as a woman was going to be like handing out free samples at a Costco. And instead, I felt like one of those guys on the Vegas Strip trying to hand you a nightclub flyer. It's like, no, come on in. It'll be fun. There's lights. It's kind of damp. Get in here. It's fun. But you know what they say? Women always go for men like their fathers. So I keep going for guys who do not want to sleep with me. Like, that is so like my dad. All right? No reason to be offended. That joke's about what a great dad my dad is. I lost my virginity late. I lost it when I was financially independent. Yeah, I went through my bank statements. Like, I could afford to have a dick in me. Just like so responsible. All my other friends lost it under a Backstreet Boys poster in their mom's house, and I lost it under an IKEA painting that I purchased with a coupon. But I'm glad I was raised that way because it taught me how to choose sexual partners in a very responsible way, okay? Because when I was younger and I was waiting, I would tell guys, I'm not ready to have sex yet. Is that okay? And anytime guys were really cool about that decision, that just made me want to have sex with them more because there is nothing hotter than someone respecting your boundaries. You're just like, what? Take your pants off. Get over here. It's... The hottest thing you can say to a girl is, hey, we don't have to do anything. Now we do. So I still do this as a sexually active adult. I pretend I'm not ready to have sex with someone new yet, just to make sure they're a good person first. I call it the gobstopper test. I go, oh, I'm not ready. Is that okay? He's like, totally fine. No worries at all. And I'm like, Charlie, you won! You did it! I knew you could, my boy. Now come inside my chocolate factory. It's all for you. I don't think I'm smarter than religious people. I hate it when atheists talk down to anyone who believes in God. I've believed a lot of stupid shit in my life. God's not even top 3, okay? I've believed tall guys. He plays guitar, he must be nice. I'm dumb, all right? When my religious family members talk about God, like God got me through the hardest years of my life, I'm like, shit, that's how I talk about Gilmore Girls. Like, I'm an idiot. And I capitalize those G's. I make sure every time. That's right. Yeah. But I have a lot of Christians in my life. A lot of people praying for me, which I try not to take personally. You ever have someone say they're praying for you and you don't know what they're referring to? They're like, hey, I just want to let you know I'm praying for you. What? I'm not sick. Oh yeah? Well, I'm praying for you. What do you think about that, Bev? Heard you need it, bitch. She's like, no, God's just been putting you on my heart lately. Well, tell God to scrape me off your heart because I'm doing awesome, okay? I don't know what you heard in the church parking lot, but that was a family matter, Bev. I'm going to tint the van windows. I have a lot of cool Christians in my life, and I was trying to think of positive things that came out of me growing up in church. And the most positive thing, I can't believe I didn't think of sooner, I started doing stand-up in churches. That's how I started doing this. They called it testimony, but I was getting laughs. And No, I really did. I started doing stand-up when I was 16 years old, and for the first, 4 or 5 years of my career, I was performing in a lot of churches. If you don't know, in America, you can make a living as a church comedian. You can tour churches even bigger than this, 4,000 or 5,000 seats, and make a great living that way. And when I was 21, I had to decide, am I going to go the church comedian route, or am I going to go the secular comedian route? And I think you know what I picked. But I am so grateful to have that as my foundation for my stand-up career. I mean, I got so much professional stage time in front of thousands of people. I got paid. I learned how to work clean and perform in any room. And I think about that a lot. I'm so grateful for it. And I know a lot of you are probably sitting there right now going, well, that's nice. It's cute that you're grateful, Taylor. And we get what you're doing with the church and everything. But, we've seen your stuff now. And there's no way you could perform in churches now. And here's the thing, I don't want to. And I probably won't. But I fucking could though, okay? Oh, if I get canceled or some shit, I'm a fucking professional and I will be returning to churches, okay? I will turn this ship around so goddamn gosh darn fast. In a fetus's heartbeat, I'll go back to churches. I will rebrand like you've never seen. I'll get real big hair, marry a man, let him lead. Write a book called Submissive Wife, Submissive Life. Adopt a southern accent out of nowhere. And yeah, I'm going on tour. I have the beginning of the show all planned out in my head. It's going to start off pitch black auditorium. Then on the big screen, I'm only doing mega churches. That's where the money is. On the big screen, a black and white montage, probably starting with the Netflix ba-dong noise. They own my ass for 8 more years. A black and white montage of all my raunchiest jokes from my 20s. And that's why getting a guy to wear a condom is like, fade out to demon noises. Freeze frame on my young face. Lights slowly come up as I walk out wearing all... You know what? I'm just going to show you. This is how you get pussy! I came so hard. I'll have you know, in bed, I am a wild animal, okay? And that's when I stopped believing in God. Go home and Google porn for women, okay? I lost my virginity late. I lost it when I was financially independent.
You guys, I'm literally fucking the patriarchy.
Are you wet? Let me feel. Yeah, I grew up with God. He's a douchebag. That joke makes it sound like I resent my religious upbringing. And I do, so I nailed it. Fucking hell! No Christian parents want to watch their daughter talk about depression and dick for an hour. Take that, Jesus! I don't know if any of you have tried to get a 20-something dude from a dating app to wear a condom lately, but it's sort of like trying to convince a 5-year-old to put a jacket on over his Halloween costume. That's when I stopped. And you guys think I haven't tried to masturbate? Yeah, fucking hell! That sucks.
Jesus!
Anybody recognize her? That was me, back when Satan had me in his clutches. And I can see some of you feeling like Joseph on Christmas right now. Like, is this whore lying to me? But everybody loves the comeback, don't they? It ain't a rebrand, it's a rebirth, folks. Welcome to the Prodigal Daughter Tour!
Give me a man after midnight. Somebody else needs to shout. Give me a man after midnight.
All right, here's some great queer awakenings people sent in. Thank you for coming to this. You did not have to. AI is getting pretty good. It's getting way too good. I don't trust it. My iPhone started capitalizing the G in God again without asking me. Did that happen to anyone else? Yeah, I don't know which update it was, but all of a sudden my iPhone's like, did you mean King of Kings? The robots are coming and they love the Lord. Are you guys worried about the robots? You concerned? Yeah. Have you looked at the people in your life, your friends, your family, and then back at yourself and gone, uh-oh. But this last breakup was different for me because this was the first breakup I had gone through since I got on Netflix. And before I was on Netflix, every time I went through a breakup, my friends were very supportive. Like, we're so sorry, we're here for you, it'll get better. Then I got on Netflix and I went through a breakup, and all my friends were like, well. I mean, you have your dream job. So, yeah, all my friends looked at my sad face and went, you can't have it all, bitch. All of them. And I was so offended. And then I thought about it for a minute, and I was like, you know what? I don't want anybody to have it all either. None of us do. It's why they keep putting out Marilyn Monroe documentaries where they're like, she's actually pretty sad. And we're like, yeah, she fucking was. Nobody wants anybody to have it all. If someone has their soulmate, you don't want them to have their dream job too. If someone has their dream job, they don't get to be in love on top of that. If someone has their dream job and their soulmate, bare minimum their parents better be divorced. I'd prefer they were an orphan. Nobody wants anybody to have it all. When I was a kid, I didn't think you could have it all. When I was a kid, I thought you either got to be hot or have a good personality. I thought that's how people were divided. I thought life was fair. And that got me through a lot of ugly years as a child where I'm like, it's okay that I'm not more symmetrical because I have this great, awesome personality that will surely reveal itself any day now. It's coming with my period and my Hogwarts letter. I can feel it. And that got me all the way to 6th grade when I met my friend Krista, and she was pretty and funny and smart and nice. And that's when I stopped believing in God. But so many of my friends said a version of this to me after my last breakup that I actually started to feel really guilty. Because you know what, DC? This is my dream job. I can't believe I'm filming my 3rd Netflix special tonight. I cannot believe. Been so insanely lucky in my career. And the more I thought about that, the more I was like, yeah, Taylor, nobody has every single thing going for them as a person. You have been so blessed. Be grateful for what you have. Focus on that. Nobody gets to have it all. And then I saw Hugh Jackman in person. And I was like, oh, I guess you can have it all, but there's none left because God gave it all to Hugh. Hugh Jackman is a perfect specimen of a human man. Seeing him in person was a religious experience. It changed me. It was like seeing the Grand Canyon. I think everyone should do it at least once before they die. He is a wonder of the world, that man. It was like seeing Niagara Falls. You can bring the whole family, you get a little wet, but it's fun. It was. Here's what happened. So about a year and a half ago, we were in New York City doing shows on tour, and we had an off night in between theater shows. So me and my buddy Dustin and his wife Melissa and a few of our other friends who are also happy went to go see The Music Man on Broadway, which was starring Hugh Jackman. Was it a good show? I don't know, but Hugh Jackman was there the whole time. They should have called the show, "We Got Hugh Jackman in a Room. Who Wants to See Him?" The show was great. At the end of the show, they're doing curtain calls. All the actors are taking their bows. One of the actors steps forward and goes, "You've come on a very special week because tonight we're raising money for an amazing charity called Broadway Cares. And tonight, Hugh is going to sign the pair of gloves he wore in the show. And we're going to auction them off to the highest bidder." And I looked at my friends and I was like, I mean, I have money. And they were like, really? This is what you're gonna spend the Netflix money on, huh? And I was like, well, I don't have a family. There's no one else here, and I've already had braces. If I can't have it all, I'm gonna have those gloves. Also, I just thought it would be hilarious as a bit because everybody asks you when you get on television, they're like, what'd you spend that money on? Did you buy a new jacket? Did you buy a new car? And I'm like, how funny would it be if my first big TV purchase was a pair of sweaty gloves worn by Wolverine, right? It's like, what am I, a man? So dumb. So I start competing in the auction, and I'm doing pretty well because I got nothing to lose and no one to live for. And I'm doing so well that it gets down to me and just two other bidders. It gets down to me, an older woman towards the front, and I kid you not, Jake from State Farm. That is 100% true, that detail, and I hesitate to include it because it makes the story sound like a dream I had once. He's like, so in the dream, I'm trying to get Hugh Jackman's gloves. But then Jake from State Farm's there. He thinks he's going to get them. I'm like, fat chance, commercial boy. Those gloves are mine. Then Flo from Progressive rides in on a horse for some reason. But whoops, who's that? Tony the Tiger pops a wheelie on his motorbike. All cash offer. Can't beat Tony. That's old money. So it is now down to me, this woman, and Jake. I think what happened next was, I think Jake could tell that me and this woman needed the win more than he did. So, like a good neighbor, State Farm backs out. It is now down to me and this woman. We are ping-ponging back and forth, back and forth. I think I blacked out for a minute because when I came to, we were at a number that I've not agreed to pay since college. So exactly like college, I'm like, oh, this is crazy. I'm not gonna finish. As they're about to say, once, twice, sold, to the woman in the front, Hugh Jackman steps forward, stops the auctioneer, and goes, before we end the auction, I just have to say, I am so moved by the generosity of tonight's audience. You know, I have 2 gloves. If I were to sign both of them, would these 2 ladies match each other's bid? And he looked right at me. Now, I've never paid for sex. But I did drop $7,000 on eye contact with Hugh Jackman. Thank you for clapping. That joke was expensive. They're like, don't worry, it's a tax write-off. I'm like, don't worry, I will make sure that it is. I wish I could tell you that the whole time I was like, it's for charity. But the truth is, I completely forgot till the end. And even then, I was like barely listening. I was too busy talking to the glove, like, Hugh's fingers were inside you. What was that like? He's surprisingly gentle. I knew it. I love telling that story because I can always tell who grew up in church based on who starts laughing at, you know I have too. You're like, oh, I read the Bible. I know when they're about to cut a baby in half. Really good. That was not the feedback I kept getting from romantic partners, by the way. That's not what finally made me get help. Every guy I've ever dated has told me I have trust issues, which is something liars say when you're onto them. You have trust issues, babe. You have a hot coworker and a locked phone, so. I have trust issues, but I earned them, okay? I absolutely earned them. Like, I got cheated on in college. My college boyfriend was sleeping with sex workers behind my back, or prostitutes if you're old and don't know that word's not okay to use anymore. Sometimes older crowd members can get confused because they're like, what is a sex worker? Is that what my granddaughter does on Instagram? And you're like, no. She's just hot. That's a FabFitFun box. That's a different thing. Your granddaughter doesn't, that's not a job. That's not real. You can't say prostitute anymore. Calling a sex worker a prostitute is like calling a comedian a clown. You're not technically wrong, but you are a fucking asshole. So... But I told my therapist I got cheated on like this, and she didn't say what I wanted her to say, which was, poor baby sweetie, this session is free. Instead, she goes, well, you might be a self-fulfilling prophecy. And I was like, oh. And she's like, no, it's a bad thing. And I was like, oh. Well, then could you say I have self-fulfilling prophecy? Is Selena Gomez a self-fulfilling prophecy? And I said, what does that mean? I'm a self-fulfilling prophecy. And she goes, well, sometimes we expect someone to treat us poorly, so we treat them like they're going to treat us poorly until they do. You thought someone was going to cheat on you, so you treated them like they were going to cheat on you until they did cheat on you. And then you were like, see? And I was like, oh, so I'm a witch. And she's like, ooh, so close, you're a bitch. You gotta get that me. I'm like, whatever, all I heard was Gryffindor. I am working on my trust issues. I was so much worse when I first started seeing my therapist. I told her, like, first session, I was like, the guy I'm dating keeps answering my phone calls, hey, beautiful? And she's like, so what's the problem? I was like, I mean, I don't know yet. But when I find out who beautiful is, she's like, do you think it might be you? I was like, I'm sorry. I thought we were here to work. I think I'm cute or whatever now, but I was an ugly kid with honest parents. And that shit stays in your bones, all right? If you were an ugly kid with honest parents, I don't care how attractive you grow up to be. At any point, if someone's like, you look really nice today, you're like, yeah, whatever. I know the goddamn truth. When I was 10, I said, Dad, am I pretty? And his response was, look. I'm not the best looking guy, right? No, but I wake up every morning and I try. I take a shower, I put on a nice suit, and I do okay. And then he went to work. And I became a comedian, I guess. That was his response to his 10-year-old daughter. Just like, you and me, potato face. These are the cards we were dealt. Get clean and match. That's all you can do. Don't sleep on wet hair. Can't do that. Maybe wear a hat sometimes. Cover up some of that head. I'm sorry, there's so much of it. I think I'm pretty. I have a big head. I know I do, because every guy I've ever dated has made a point to be like, I love your big head. That's my favorite thing guys do when they compliment the thing you hate most about yourself. They're like, I love your soft arms. You're like, okay. Yeah? I love your weird balls. How does it feel? How does it feel to be accepted? I'm a nightmare to date. Anything nice you do or say, I'm just like, whatever. I dated a guy once who told me that flirting with me was like punching water. And I was like, why? Because it's pointless or because you look stupid doing it? He's like, did you hear it? I'm like, I heard it that time. Yeah. And then he cheated on me. So, you know, prophecy fulfilled. I can't help it. At the beginning of a relationship with a guy, I just assume anything nice he does is a move he pulls on everybody. And I'm not going to fall for your choreography, sir. I'm like, oh, is this your move? You open the car door for me on the date? This is like your move. This is how you do it. It's cute. Bet that works a lot. Oh, is this your move? You go with me to my grandpa's funeral, hold an umbrella over my head in the rain? This is like your move. This is how you do it. Like, oops, don't get wet. Oops, I am. Whatever. This ain't my first rodeo. I used to have 2 grandpas. Oh, is this your move? You die next to me in a hospital bed at 86 years old, holding my hand for all eternity? This is like your move? This is how you get pussy? He's like, we've been together for 60 years. I'm like, you're a fuckboy, and I know it. Don't bury me with this guy. He's been dying with other people behind my back. I can't prove it. Check his phone when he uses the bedpan. He came out, he goes, thought he found a new angle, right? He comes out, he goes, we always kind of rush through the Christmas story, don't we? Since we all know it so well. But if you ever really stop to think about what this must have been like for Mary, and all the women were like, oh, and all the men were like, no. Which one's Mary again? Oh, are you talking about the vessel? You talking about the hole we put the Lord in? You talking about the Jesus jar? You talking about the Christ cubby? You talking about the Savior sack? You talking about the prophet pocket? We could keep going, but we have to move on. But that's a fun game to play to come down from the cousin fight, if you want. That Mary POV sermon went over so well for him that he came out the next year all excited. Like last year we talked about what it must have been like for Mary to find out she was pregnant with Jesus. But have you ever stopped to think about what this must have been like for Joseph? And all the men were like, finally, representation. I also think whores are lying to me. Joseph was Mary's betrothed at the time. Again, I don't assume everybody knows all the Bible stories. You grew up in church, you're like, everybody's learning these. Nope, some kids were having childhoods on their bikes. Yeah. Is there anyone in here who never went to church, has never believed in God, never been religious at all? Wow, all in the back. That checks out. That checks out. Well, you sound very at peace. You sound so relaxed, but how do you know right from wrong? How do you not kill people? Some Christians talk like that. My dad growing up was like, if I weren't a Christian, I'd be in jail. And I'm like, whoa, I'm 6. Let's do Goodnight Moon tomorrow instead of Dad's Dark Thoughts. Some Christians walk around like, yeah, if Sky Dad didn't have me on house arrest, there'd be some mud on my boots. And you're like, cool, let's only hang out in groups. But if you didn't grow up in church, you might not know a lot of Bible stories. You might not know any Bible stories. I won't put you on the spot, don't worry. I used to learn my lesson. One time I asked someone and they panicked and went, VeggieTales! I called off my engagement. Don't do that. Your happiest married friend doesn't remember what it's like to be heartbroken. She's like, well, what are you going to do now? You going to get back out there? Are you seeing anybody? And I was like, nope, just going to focus on my career for a little bit. And she's like, well, why can't you focus on a career and a relationship at the same time? And I was like, how do I explain this in a way you might understand? Why can't I focus on a career and a relationship? Have you ever been on the freeway in traffic and your lane stops, but the one next to you keeps moving, so you get in the one that's moving, and as soon as you get the one that's moving, that one stops, and the one next to you starts moving again. So you get back in that first one, because that one's moving now, and as soon as you get back in that first one, that one stops again, and the one next to you starts moving. And after you go back and forth a few more times, at a certain point, you're like, okay, is it fucking me? And she's like, yeah, I don't know if I get it because, John and I, we usually just get in the carpool lane. And I was like, where's your baby? I'm gonna drop it. I'd like to have kids too, which is a shame because I'm so talented. And, you understand. I don't know what happened. A few years ago, I was like, yeah, I'll get to kids. And now it's like every day I wake up and my brain goes, you have goals. And my body's like, I'm empty, like all the time. I saw a baby in a fedora last week and I was like, I need to make something and put a hat on it right now. It came from somewhere inside me I didn't know existed. I felt like a young boy who'd just seen porn for the first time. Just like, what's happening to my body? I have to go home forever. I do still get annoyed with other people's kids, which I think will keep me empty a little bit longer. Like my biggest pet peeve are those babies that wave at you from strollers. Have you seen these babies? They're strangers to you, but they wave like you owe them money or something. And it's like, hi, don't engage. It's a trap. The same thing happens every time. Hi. 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 Hi, sweetie. How are you? You know why they laugh? Because they just wasted your time. They know one word. It's not a conversation. That's a dead end. That would be like me walking up to a French person like bonjour. They get excited, start talking to me in French, and I just go, ha ha! Then a bigger person wheels me away in a carriage. Au revoir, asshole. You thought you made a friend, baguette. I do want to have kids, but I want to make sure before I have them that I have made enough mistakes so that I give great advice as a parent. You have to make mistakes, learn from them, and then you give amazing advice. My dad read his Bible every night. He got a scholarship to college. He married my mom, and then he had us. His advice was terrible. He'd be like, don't do that. And we're like, why? And he's like, I don't know, kid. I read it in a book. I've never really lived. Joel Osteen pose. My uncle was a drug-dealing alcoholic who got shot in the 90s. I listen to everything that man says. Because he can back it up. He's like, don't do that. Why? Because Uncle Larry P's sitting down now. Go play. I just don't want to be one of these people that has kids too soon before I think about what it's going to be like. Like, my biggest fear is the technology thing. Like, my kids are always going to have the internet. And don't get me wrong, I'm young. I had the internet pretty early. I got the internet just as I was going through puberty, which was awesome. I had a magic box I could hop on and be like, is this hairnormal.com, upload picture? And then someone from Arkansas is like, you're probably fine. And I'm like, cool, I'm getting back on my bike. Like, I don't know what people did during puberty before the internet, just like read Judy Blume until they started tingling. Like, what happened? Can you imagine going through puberty in the 1300s? Back then you were alone. Something weird was happening downstairs. You're like, that's a little strange. Hope I'm not a witch. I can't go swimming. My daughter will always have the internet. From the time that she is born to the time she dies, she's always going to have it. And I have to explain to her that the internet is the most beautiful, amazing, disgusting, horrifying thing in the universe. How do you do that in a balanced, measured way? Just like, hey, sweetie, have so much fun on the internet, talk to your friends, do your homework, but be careful, because a lot of people in there want to kill you.
Everyone on the internet wants to kill me.
No, not everybody. Some of them are just nice kids from Arkansas who want to let you know your pubic hair is A-okay. But yeah, some of them want to wear you like a skin jacket. So just please look out for mommy, okay?
But you met Daddy on the internet.
That's different. I met your daddy on a dating app. He sent me a very thoughtful emoji. And just really saw me for me.
But how did you know Daddy wasn't a bad internet person who wanted to kill you?
Look, you little bitch, I didn't, okay? I didn't, but mommy was going through a dry spell. Your daddy had nice shoulders, so I took a fucking chance. Tale as old as time. In therapy, I figured out the day in my childhood I became an emotional eater. I was 8 years old and I was eating a bagel in the kitchen, and my dad came in and he goes, "You're going to want to put that bagel down. I got to tell you something." And that's when he told me that my mom had died. So somewhere in my brain, something clicked like, oh, when you stop eating bread, people perish. I went back to 4th grade like the angel of death. Everyone's like, step on a crack, break your mother's back. I'm like, stop eating bread, now your mom's dead, dude. They left out that second part, but I had a list when I was 8. I tell you guys that because no one told me. They pulled me aside a year later at school. Someone's like, Taylor, your teacher thinks you might be struggling with a speech impediment. I'm like, what's a speech impediment? Are you sure you have the right person? Because I'm crushing it out there. And they're like, you didn't do anything wrong. You pronounce your words a little differently. Like, you say sh instead of s for your S's. Does that make sense? And I was like, I'm pretty sure I would have noticed if I said sh instead of sh. Hope you find who you're looking for. If you have any follow-up questions, I'll be on the seesaw. I know dead mom jokes make people uncomfortable. I know that. And if you are uncomfortable, I don't know what to say. You should have worked harder, so it was you up here. No, honestly, I never want to make people feel uncomfortable with that information. So much so that I used to lie to everybody growing up. I used to tell everybody that my parents were separated so I wouldn't have to say my mom's dead. And that worked very well until recently a friend of mine found out I had lied, and she was very upset. She was like, "Your mom's dead? Taylor, you told me your parents were separated." And I was like, "Well, they were." By Jesus. Both her parents are alive, so she has no idea how funny that is, but she'll get it eventually, right? Like, that joke is a slow burn. Kind of like cancer, which is what got mine. Hey-o! Okay, all right. Oh, here's the deal, Boston. We have another, 6 minutes of dead mom jokes. I know, you're getting like, "Oh no, 6 minutes, that's a long time." It won't feel long. I've cushioned her, all right? I have laid my dead mom to rest in a beautiful casket of dick jokes and pop culture references. There's something for everybody over the next 6 minutes. You'll laugh, you'll cry, you'll forget she's dead. But I know a lot's happening for you as a crowd right now, because you're like, "Taylor, we're good people. Good people wouldn't laugh at dead mom jokes." I'm here to tell you that if you're trying to be a good person at a comedy show, you're wasting your goddamn time. Trying to be a good person at a comedy show is like trying to recycle at a theme park. You're already in here and part of the problem. Put your hands up and have fun. And I know you're good people. You're like, "Taylor, we've known you for 25 minutes. We hate that anything bad ever happened to you even once." Thank you so much, Boston. But what you have to understand is the bad thing already happened. And now I'm talking about it into a microphone in front of people who paid to be here. Which means now the bad thing is money. Do you think I'd be this successful at my age if I had a live mom? No. I'd be a creative writing teacher who loved myself, and I'd be sitting in the dark with you peasants, okay? She's in heaven. I'm on Netflix. It all worked out. That is a real thing I said in therapy. To which my therapist responded, "You should come in twice this week." Some people get sad because I was 8 when it happened, but 8 is a great time to lose a parent because you're so stupid, you barely know what's going on.